Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we're diving into the Teacher's Toolkit. We're going to look at how you can transform your classroom from just a room with desks into a place where language learning really, truly comes alive.
So, let me ask you this. What's the secret to a successful classroom? You know the kind I'm talking about, where the students are hooked, learning is actually happening, and it just flows. Is there some kind of magic formula?
Well, no, it's not magic. It really boils down to a powerful combination of two things: creating the right environment and using the right techniques. And that's exactly what we're going to break down today.
All right, let's start with the absolute bedrock of all teaching, classroom management. You can think of it like the foundation of a house. I mean, if that's not solid, everything else you try to build on top of it is just going to be wobbling.
In classroom management, it's not just about discipline, right? It's really the art of organization. It's all about creating a space and a system where learning is the main event. And distractions, well, they barely even get a chance to pop up. It's about being proactive, not just reactive.
So how do you do it? Well, detailed lesson plans are your best friend, because an idle classroom can turn into a chaotic one super fast. Mixing up the seating can completely change the energy and boost interaction. And of course, having clear rules from day one is non-negotiable. It all adds up to what some people call witness. You know, that teacher superpower of just knowing what's happening everywhere in the room at all times.
Now, inside that well-managed space, one of the most powerful tools in your entire toolkit is giving truly effective feedback. This is where the magic really happens, where you can shape learning in real time. And a classic, for a good reason, is the feedback sandwich. It's so simple, but it works. You start with something positive, then you slide in that clear, targeted correction, and you wrap it all up with more praise and encouragement. This way, the student feels supported, not attacked, and they're way more likely to actually listen to your advice.
But, you know, it's not just what you say, it's when you say it. Think about it. If the goal is accuracy, like a grammar drill, you want to jump in with immediate feedback. But if the goal is fluency, say a student is telling a story, it's way better to wait till the end. If you interrupt, you can totally break their flow and their confidence. You've got to match the timing to the goal.
So, if management is the foundation, then our teaching methods, that's the art and the architecture of the house itself. This is the how we actually teach.
You know, great teachers understand that every student learns a little differently. That's where VAKT, visual, auditory, kinesthetic, and tactile comes in. For your visual learners, charts and images are everything. For auditory learners, let them talk it out in discussions. And for your kinesthetic and tactile kids, you got to get them moving, doing role plays and getting their hands on things. I love this quote because it gets to the heart of what modern language teaching is all about. Instead of just drilling abstract rules into students' heads, the idea is to let them discover grammar naturally, through context, learning through games and songs and real situations. It's not just more fun, it is way more effective. Okay, so let's get really practical. How do all of these ideas apply to the 4 core skills of any language: listening, speaking, reading, and writing?
For listening, it's got to be about more than just hitting play. You have to prep your students. Get them to predict what they think they're about to hear. Use authentic, real-world audio whenever you can. And hey, don't forget that your own body language, your gestures, your expressions are incredibly powerful tools for helping them understand. Now for speaking, the golden rule is simple. Maximize student talk time. That means lots of pair and group work. Your #1 job here is to create a safe space where making mistakes is just normal. It's part of the process. And for those quieter students, having a gentle participation plan can be just the nudge they need to feel confident enough to join in.
When it comes to reading, there are a couple of powerful techniques. Repeated readings can do wonders for building fluency and speed. And chunking, just breaking down a big, scary block of text into smaller, manageable pieces, is a lifesaver. And please, never ever underestimate the power of encouraging them to read just for the fun of it.
It's also so important to teach students how to read for different reasons. Skimming, that's like glancing at the headlines of a newspaper just to get the main idea. Scanning, on the other hand, that's what you do when you're looking for one specific thing, like your name on a list. They're both essential, real-world skills.
And with writing, especially for younger learners, you'll want to start with group activities. Writing together builds up so much confidence before you ask them to go it alone. And at the beginning, the focus should just be on the fundamentals, making sure their handwriting is clear and they've got the basics of punctuation and spelling down.
So, how do we pull all this together in the classroom? Let's talk about the journey from just practicing a skill to actually performing it, and a super simple way to check if the lesson actually worked.
A really key idea here is moving students from mechanical to communicative practice. Yeah, we start with controlled stuff like drills to build up their accuracy and confidence, but the end goal is always communicative practice, getting them to use the language creatively in situations like role plays that actually feel like real life.
So how do you know if the lesson landed? You should try using an exit ticket. Seriously, it's such a simple, low-stress way to get instant feedback. In the last minute of class, you can find out what they learned, what they liked, and most importantly, where they might still be confused.
Okay, so let's boil this all down. What are the big takeaways? Number 1, a positive, organized environment is the foundation for everything. Number 2, you've got to adapt your teaching to how your students actually learn. And number 3, your job is to guide them from those basic drills toward real, meaningful communication.
And that really brings us to the end. Looking at this whole toolkit, from the feedback sandwich to exit tickets, I've got a question for you. Which one of these techniques are you going to try first in your classroom? Thanks so much for watching.